we've got two more symbols that I want to go over. That's close enough. N is equal to the number of units. This is regardless of whether we're looking at a population or a sample. So in our sample, we might say that there are 4 units. In this case, they are people. But they could, the reason I say units is because they could be sheep, they could be fish, they don't have to be an animal, they could be rocks. They could be imaginary characters, like let's say you're looking at the population of characters in the Narnia books, right? That's a totally valid thing to take a population information from. That's why it's probably better to say units. Now in our sample, it's 2 units. Again, it's oh no, whoops. No. Alright, getting used to this drawing pad. Hopefully this happens at a decreased rate in the future. Does it go up? Why does it decide to do that? Okay. So, obviously we have, what's this? We have 1 person here, 1 person here, 1 person here, 1 person here. That's how we get our 4 units. And we have 1 person here, 1 person here. That's how we get our 2 units. So N is the number of units. Now we'll do gold for our yellow one. You guys deserve gold for the finale, right? So our last one, and this is a relatively important symbol, is our sum thereof. So it's the sum of all the information that's being measured. Now most commonly you'll see this xi minus x bar. This is the most common sum of that you'll see in statistics. What does this mean? Well, our I, that symbol there can denote anything, but really what it means is index, right? So the value is in like an index of things. So this here is the first index, the second index, the third index, the fourth index. Now this is trying to say that the index of x minus the average of x and sum all that information together. Now have a go real quick and see if you can figure out what this answer would be for either the population or the sample. I'll let you pause now. And hopefully you're back. If you got oh no, why? If you got 0, you're correct. This is because when we take the index value and subtract the mean, what you're doing is subtracting the difference every time. And eventually, the difference from the mean has to be equal to 0, because you get the mean by taking all of the information and dividing it by the number of participants. We'll see this very quickly in an example. So, our population values were 1. We'll do population just so we get a full grasp of it. 1 minus 2.5. Oh no, I didn't want you to do that. Why is it? I have to figure out why it's doing that. It's very frustrating at this point. I really don't know what's happening. 1 minus 2.5 plus, because we're summing all of the values together, 2 minus 2.5 plus 3 minus 2.5 plus 4 minus 2.5. So these are all the x indexes. So this is the index of x1, 2, 3, and 4, because these are the values along here. So that is equal to, let's just scroll down a little bit. That is equal to negative 1.5 minus 0.5, so negative 2. Let's just keep a rolling count in ahead. Plus, because this is greater than, 0.5 plus 1.5. Well, you might notice that this cancels and this cancels. So it equals 0. Because the difference, the average difference from the mean has to be equal to 0. Because the difference, because the mean is the average. Cool. Hopefully you guys learned some information from this. If you did, if you want to practice with the sum of for the sample, I would recommend doing that. Yeah, but thanks for listening. Hopefully this hasn't been too long or boring.